License which is 2657.
Great, okay. That'll take us up to Christmas nearly, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, good, okay. As you see, our accounts office has its opening signs just like the banks, you know.
Yeah.
But it's more difficult to get money out of us. Over here is where we keep all our old characters, you know.
What, all the actors you sack?
No, not the actors, the characters. It's fictional, remember?
Oh, it's fictional, right. So you're not cruel to your actors, Phil?
No, we're very good. Yeah. And so we use those every time we go off and do cemetery scenes and things like that.
Right.
We're coming over here now to our sort of main reception
right.
On the place. As you can see on the left here is the actual reception itself that people come to. And this is Frank and Richie, our gardeners, because one of the other things about Brookside is that we have to sort of look after the garden 365 days of the year.
Yeah.
For us it's the 1st of November, but for Frank you're slightly ahead of us now, aren't you?
Christmas now.
Christmas, yeah?
You're going to get festive season.
You're going to go the holly and the mistletoe and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Frank,
how does he do it?
How do you do it? How do you get the plants out sort of ahead, you know, sort of 5 weeks ahead all the time?
Well, we usually put them in a hothouse or a cold frame.
Yeah.
You know, when we buy them, we keep them in there to force them up a bit and then put them out.
That's right. And actually what Frank does, he uses Harry Cross's greenhouse, really.
Doesn't he use plastic ones, though?
No, we don't use plastic, do we, Frank?
No.
Right, they will do in 50 years' time, no doubt.
Oh, probably. This, as I said, is the main door to our reception, but this door here, next door, this is actually our kind of main admin office, and every script and storyline that goes through the programme actually goes through this office, and all the fan mail and everything else that comes through to the company.
Phil, have you ever thought of taking a job in television? As a presenter, that is.
As a presenter?
You're doing very well.
Well, if I don't fall over and I go around this corner, we might be okay.
All right, love.
So we come round here. This is what you normally see on the programme, the actual sort of close itself. And how about this? We have some actors actually rehearsing here.
Well, gosh, just happen to have some ready.
Just some ready here.
Yeah.
Right?
Who we got and what's going on?
It looks like we've got Paul and Annabelle Collins, played by Doreen Sloan and Jim Wiggins, with Mark Burgess-Gordon. Romy Allison, who's the director, is obviously talking through one of the scenes from
Can you not get a bit nearer, love?
Well, shall we just interrupt them and see what happens?
Yeah, please.
Yeah? Okay. Romy, do you mind if we break in?
No,
yeah?
not at all.
This is our open air bit for the 1st of November, the day in the life of television. This is Romy Allison's actually directing the scene.
Hello, Romy.
Kevin, who is our floor manager. Vinny, who is our assistant floor manager. Jim Wiggins, who plays Paul Collins.
Hello.
Doreen Stone plays Annabelle. Hello. Mark Burgess-Gordon. And of course Kate, who's the PA for today.
Romy, what are you actually doing today then?
We're rehearsing a scene that isn't actually set on the close. It's a location scene outside the golf club to which Paul Collins is a member. And we're rehearsing a scene where they're outside the golf club waiting to meet Mr. Fallon.
Why? What are you talking about? What's the issue at stake? Because you like serious issues, don't you, Phil?
Yeah, well, we try, as well as entertaining the programme, we try and raise anything that might be going on in society and contribute to those wider debates.
Yeah, and what is it today then?
Well, this particular scene, Mrs. Your mother's name, what is it?
Mona Harvey.
Harvey, see, I've forgotten her name. Mrs. Harvey has said she's going to marry Mr. Fallon. And they're both an elderly couple, they're both living in the home at the moment together, in this rather jolly home. And their family, understandably, are worried about what his motives are, where the money's going to go, whether it's going to go to their offspring or his offspring, whether she's fit to take on a home again, what his motives are, whether she's just having a whim or whether she really is in love with him. And this generation is worried about the generation up.
That's a good one for today. 50 years' time. I wonder what the
They'll still be worried about it in 50 years' time.
Well, not that person.
Not you personally, but it is an interesting thought, how we treat old people, and because we are going to be those people in 50 years' time, aren't we?
Exactly.
Yeah, instead of just feeling it, we'll actually be it.
Yes, that's right. And perhaps we'll appreciate it by then. Annabelle, not Annabelle. Doreen, is it true? I haven't been watching for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Doreen, can Doreen hear me?
Can you hear?
Yes.
I haven't been watching for a couple of weeks. I've just been told the shock horror news you're having an affair.
You only found out now?
Yes. I can't believe it. Where have I been?
I didn't know this.
No, oh, didn't you?
What about Paul? Did he know?
Yes, I know. Well, no, Paul doesn't know, but I, Jim Wiggins, know.
Well, that would be helpful.
You see, this is another topical thing,
Yes.
which is going to be topical in 50 years' time, isn't it?
Always will be.
Perhaps affairs will be illegal in 50 years' time. Who knows?
Well, they might be illegal, but I don't think it's going to stop anybody doing them.
I think someone should. I think someone should write a cookbook called 100 Ways with Mince and Monogamy. It'll be a bestseller in 50 years' time still.
Phil, do you think Liverpool will exist in 50 years' time?
Of course it'll exist. I mean, it's been here for hundreds of years. It's going to be here for hundreds of years more.
Great.
Yeah, Manchester now, that's another thing altogether.
That's a different question altogether.
That's right. That's
And
right.
it isn't, of course, Phil, it isn't the only programme that's going to go down in the archives that's one of yours, is it, today?
No, it isn't actually, because we've got on at 5 o'clock tonight Grange Hill, which has been going for 12 years, and hopefully we'll keep going for 50 years more.
What do you think? Are you all doing diaries, all the cast? And
Yes, we've all got our... There they are.
you got your bits?
I haven't
Yeah.
got mine with me because I've got my script instead. But I
Doreen,
am
what are you going to be saying about today? Is it going to be a typical day for you?
well, it's not exactly typical because you're here, but if you weren't here, it would be typical.
And that would involve how many hours? How many hours work do you normally do, you actors?
Oh, it varies very much. Today is quite a heavy day because we've got 2 lots of rehearsals on, and I'm included in both those, and I'm also on the shoot, so I'm involved with 3 different directors today.
Excellent. And what about you, Jim?
I shall be rehearsing with another director later on. I'm not shooting today, fortunately.
Right. So that's an easy day for you.
Pretty good, yes.
And what will you
I
watch
still
when
put
you...
the same effort in, of course.
Oh, absolutely. And what will you do when you get home? What will you watch tonight?
What will I
Anything?
watch?
Yeah.
Well, I'll have a
Doesn't
look.
know what's on.
I'll have a look at the Independent and see what jumps out. From
Right.
the
I wonder if that'll
programme.
still be going in 50 years' time as well.
That's a good thought.
So how long have we got on Brookside? What do you reckon? Put in a bid now for the archive and we'll see if you're right. How many more years do you think it will go?
Hundreds.
What?
Hundreds.
Don't be
Will
silly.
you still be writing it?
A calculated guess. Do you...
25.
Well, Coronation Street's into 25 years, so we've got to try and stagger up to that, haven't we?
Right.
Yeah.
So that's your ambition. Well, I hope you make it, and thank you very much indeed for letting us interrupt your important rehearsals. And Phil, very good, and perhaps in a couple of years' time we'll see you presenting on television.
Yeah, well, when I get through my YTS course, it should be okay.
Great. Thank you very much indeed, all of you. Now over to Mike.